Hey folks, my name is Jim Aspel. I'm a board certified workers' compensation attorney in Farmington, Connecticut. And I wanted to take a minute today to talk to you about what would happen in the unfortunate event that you pass away during the pendency of your workers' compensation case. So in other words, if your case is open, you're still claiming benefits or you're collecting benefits, if you die, what happens to your case? Now, fortunately, this is, as you might expect, a very rare occurrence. I think in over 30 years of doing this work, we've had probably 2 or 3 clients pass away during the pendency of their action. But the sad fact of the matter is that if you are collecting benefits and your case is still open and you do pass away, generally speaking, if you die, the case is going to die with you. So in other words, if you're collecting benefits, those benefits are going to stop. Now, there are a couple of exceptions to this, like there are with anything in the law. The first, of course, is if you pass away as a result of the work-related injury. Now, in that case, all of the bills associated with your passing, at least that are related to the accident that led to your passing, those are going to be paid by workers' compensation. Now, if you leave a spouse, a child, some other dependent survivor, and you've passed away because of your work-related injury, then that individual is going to have their own claim for survivorship benefits under Connecticut workers' compensation law. The important thing to remember, though, is that those benefits don't kick in automatically. So if you were to pass away and you leave a spouse, for example, that spouse is going to have to file their own claim for survivorship benefits. They do that by filing a State of Connecticut Form 30D with the Workers' Compensation Commission and with the employer. In that situation, I would strongly recommend that you retain the services of a workers' compensation attorney because that's a tricky process, and obviously the financial stakes are quite significant, and it's not something that you want to mess up, quite frankly. So that's number one. If you pass away as a result of the injury, your survivor's rights to your benefits, whether it's a spouse, a child, or some other dependent in some way, whether or not you're providing support for your parent or something like that, then those benefits are going to continue so long as you follow the appropriate procedure. Now, the second thing that does remain after you pass away would be your right to collect any permanent partial disability benefit so long as the rating, the permanency rating, was given to you before you died. So say, for example, on January 1st, you go to your orthopedist for a final permanent partial disability evaluation for your back injury. And the doctor says, okay, you're at maximum medical improvement and you have a 10% permanent partial disability to the back. Okay, that's going to entitle you to some statutory benefits. If you pass away on January 2nd, the next day after you went to see the doctor, you are still, or your estate is still going to be entitled to the value of that 10% rating. And that's something, again, I would urge you to consult with a workers' compensation attorney if you don't already have one for your case, or have your survivor do that, because that way you can at least make sure that those survivorship benefits are paid. So those are the 2 main exceptions where you're going to be able to continue to receive workers' compensation benefits after you pass. But the general rule is that if you die, the case does die with you. I just throw out there as an aside that this is different than what happens in a personal injury action. Typically, a personal injury action, be it a car accident, a slip and fall, any type of negligence action, whatever it may be, those cases do continue on even after your passing. What happens is your estate, typically the administrator of your estate, is appointed by the probate court to continue on that action, and they're substituted as a plaintiff. But that's a completely different scenario than what happens in the workers' compensation realm. Workers' compensation, as I often say, is a statutory benefit. You get what the statute says you get, and that's it. It does not, unlike a personal injury action, it does not continue after your demise, unfortunately. If you have any questions about that, give us a call. We're in Farmington. You can call us anytime, 860-523-8783. I'd urge you to check out the website, There's a ton of information on there. It's ctworkinjurylawyer.com. We do also have a blog that's adjacent to that website. We put out several posts a week on workers' compensation or Social Security disability topics. You might find those helpful as well. If you like the video, like anybody else on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up. It'll help the algorithm. And if you found the content helpful, please subscribe to the channel. We do put out workers' compensation videos on a fairly regular basis, and I'd love to have you join us. Okay? Again, thanks very much. Hope you found it helpful.